Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where a pair of amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon, and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl, where usually we explain our opposing viewpoints and see whether we can move the needle for one another. This week, it's our second monthly retrospective episode, where we look back on the episodes released in the last month and discuss anything we missed, some listener feedback, and discuss some data. Repetition, lingering thoughts, and repetition ensue. It's the Movie the Needle June 2025 Retro.
Do you want to just say that line again?
I said I've used that joke before, but I don't care.
That makes it even better.
Exactly.
We've gone full Stuart Lee now.
Yeah.
You've repeated the repetition joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I liked it when you just said it then. I liked when you just said I've used that joke before and I just don't care. I like it that we're talking about it now.
Yep.
It's all good stuff.
Good. Are
Um,
you ready to go, by the way?
am I ready to go?
Yeah, it's just I've been here like 25 minutes, but watching you try and buy something online and then decide that no, I don't want to buy something online.
What can I say? I'm marketing tricks. They don't work on me.
Well, they do kind of work.
Well,
on
I
you,
mean,
don't they?
I'll waste the time, but
Yeah.
I'll not part with the money.
No, you won't. To be fair, you won't just waste your time either. You'll waste my time.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. That
yeah.
did happen.
So, a lesser man would get angry.
Mm.
But not me. Mm-mm.
All right.
Nope.
Just internally.
Oh no. Yeah. Force it down. It will come out at some point. A murderous spree.
Yeah, healthy. Now talking about healthy, dealing with emotions and all the rest of it, I might have to start swearing at the kids.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down with it.
We've touched on this before. I don't swear in front of the kids. This is my release, really. The potty mouth comes out other times. But the eldest on the school run is challenging, shall we say.
Why are they a bell end?
It's just like there's just always something. Like it doesn't matter how soon we set off or we get ready to set off. There's always something.
Sometimes she's just like looking at a Temu deal and just wants to see if she can crack through it. And just keeps you waiting. Is it annoying? Is it frustrating, Carl?
Yeah, I don't know, but it might be time anyway to bring out the.
Have you decided which word you're going to use?
No, I'm
to
not
break
sure. I've not
them
got
down?
that far. She was messing around the other day, and I managed to convince her on the walk to school that if she didn't book her ideas up and fall in line, we'd have no choice but to remove her from the school and the friends that she loves, and send her away to a special school for naughty boys and girls, just to try to scare her into submission.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Is she like that?
I do wonder if everything would go a bit smoother if I just threw out the odd F-bomb instead, just to like show the level of my exasperation. Probably healthier than having to resort to this sort of psychological warfare that I'm employing now.
Yeah, I mean, you've got some places to go. You've got bad language first.
Yeah.
You've obviously got threat of violence. And then
No, I think
obviously,
the bad language has got to come first before threat of violence.
These are different levels. Yeah, bad language, threat of violence,
Yeah.
and then the violence. But obviously, you won't get it like it'll never happen.
No,
obviously.
it'll never happen.
No,
Yeah, never happen.
no.
But it doesn't. It's no good for my mental health. This sort of emotional manipulation that I'm doing instead, because I just spend all day feeling like a piece of shit, and then she comes through the door and apologises to me, and I feel even worse. So yeah, I think I'm just going to call her a cunt next time when I'm done with it.
Yeah. Seems
We'll see how that goes over.
I'm quite excited.
Go on.
So this episode that we're recording today is coming out tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
This never happens. We're usually like at least a few days ahead. So like we're reluctant to talk about
We've
anything
never been more
that's-
current.
Exactly. And we're reluctant to talk about current affairs and things like that, or past affairs for that matter. And now we can be that podcast that talks about the latest movie news and be current.
We can.
Now, before this, I wrote, do you know any latest movie news? No? Oh, shit. But actually, there has been some movie
There
news.
has.
And you definitely know about it because, as we know, Carl, you are a Bond fanboy.
Well, also because I put a note in the pod notes folder for this.
And you are a Bond fanboy.
If you like, yes.
And Will had already messaged me, by the way, with that goes, Carl must be, what did the word, I don't think he said creaming It's something along those lines.
Salivating, frothing.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines. So, what's the news, Carl? Tell the good listeners of the news who have missed it today but are listening first thing tomorrow. What the news is?
Denis Villeneuve has signed on to be the director of the next Bond movie.
He has. Now, is he directing this after he directs the new Dune film?
I would think that's already underway to a degree.
It's not started.
Yeah. Okay.
We haven't cast the Bond
Fair
yet, I
enough.
suppose. So.
No, that's true. I would think they don't want to hang around with the Bond thing.
And you've already waited, 5 years?
No, but they haven't. Amazon haven't.
No.
So I would think they don't. And there has been, as you just said, there has been a long wait. So
how do you feel about Denis?
Yeah. I looked at his filmography because, and obviously, you know him from June. And the other thing I really like that he's done is Arrival.
Yeah.
But then...
Prisoners?
I've not seen it.
Worth watching.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
Sicario?
But then, how I have seen Sicario.
I need to rewatch Sicario.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I didn't really like Sicario, but I feel like I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I have seen that, but I
Incendies as well as one of... Incendies?
No, not seen
is
that.
one of his. It's meant to be very good as well.
Not seen that. So I don't know. He hasn't got a ton of stuff in his filmography where I look and go, oh, if he's done that, then he's going to make a good Bond film. But he is going to make a film that's got that sort of blockbuster quality. You think of the Dune films; they were massive.
He's going to have a soundtrack that goes,
no, and exactly that. Well, yeah, but exactly that's what I mean. He's going to get some big gun in to do the soundtrack. It's going to look big and impressive. Yeah, it's going to be a proper blockbuster. I think that's the sort of vibe I get from it. So,
and he's a Bond fanboy like you.
Well, he's very much. He's one of these directors that always talks effusively about film and other directors. He loves it. Whereas some of them, not so much. But he's one of the ones where, hey, check out this. This was amazing. This was amazing. This guy's doing amazing work. So
how long till Timothée Chalamet gets cast?
That's the only thing.
Bond?
I know. I was thinking, the bad thing of that means we're going to have to fucking suffer Timothée. Look, if there's a set of films for as bang average an actor as Timothée, let's be fair, it probably is the Bond films. You can slot him in and he can do no damage. Away you go. He'll be perfectly fine. As James Bond? No, surely not.
I mean, surely not.
Yeah, that was good.
Exciting news, though. There's no other news that I want to talk about.
No.
Unless you've got anything. So
well,
that's the end of us being current.
Speaking of talking about things, and
which we do, yes.
And going back to my eldest, she did ask me this morning if we were meeting for coffee.
Oh, right, yeah.
I said, no. She said, oh, is that because you've run out of things to talk about?
I mean, maybe, but it doesn't stop us.
Yeah, well, I said no. I said, we'd loads to talk about. And she was like, what, like movies? I was like, no, we save that for the podcast. Yeah. That's right, listeners. Yeah. We save this stuff for the podcast.
This isn't just the leftovers.
This is the good stuff.
Yeah.
This is all there is.
You should hear the shit we talk about over coffee. Oh.
Well, I was trying to work that out, right? Because I genuinely couldn't remember. I was like, what do we do? I was thinking, did we just say, you watched any movie? No, we shouldn't. We can't talk about that because... Right, TV. Watching TV. What's that? No, not a time for that on account of watching the movies. Yeah. Family, how they doing anything nice with the family? It's the time thing again, isn't it? Yeah, with the movies. Yeah.
Well, we had Gareth Southgate next to us the other day.
We did have Gareth Southgate.
That was exciting.
We sort of just said, oh, there's Gareth Southgate, and went back to drinking our coffee.
And then we talked
football. Watford.
Yeah, sure.
Mid-table mediocrity last year. Yeah, but. About next year, you must be excited about next year. You think you can do well next year?
Ambitious they are, very ambitious. So they're going to get relegated.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, let's not recreate our stimulating coffee.
Yeah,
chats.
I don't know. I genuinely couldn't remember.
Just talk crap to me.
Yeah, I guess that's where we just get really racist and sort of.
No, we don't, Carl.
Bigoted. That's where it all comes out. Yeah.
No, we just talk about other people that are in the coffee shop as well. You know that.
Yeah, they're all cunts.
Oh, come on.
What?
They might actually listen.
Oh, shit. Did you put the business cards in there?
No, I didn't actually. I should do that, though.
Yeah.
Because they do actually, it's very nice. The coffee shop we go to is very...
It's a nice vibe.
Yeah, they are very welcoming. They always say hi. They know our coffee order, although... Changeover of stuff.
Do you want to tell? Yeah. Do you want to tell the world what our coffee? You say know our coffee order like it's something really specific.
Two black coffees. Yeah, 2 black Americanos. Now, it changed, didn't it? Because we used to go 2 large black Americanos, and then we got shamed into that because one time the guy just went,
you're just watering down your coffee.
You just put more hot water in it. And I was just like, oh, yeah, but okay, fine. And then after he left.
See, if you'd have had anything about you at that point, you'd have gone, why don't you just put more grams of coffee in the puck? Like, what are you doing?
Double shot.
That's what I do at home.
Yeah.
Like, you weigh that stuff out, surely. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, come on.
But, we're too polite for that.
Anything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now it's just the 2 black Americanos. Yeah.
Which really annoys me that we have to specify black Americanos.
Well, we do, yes, because we could just say Americanos, but then the question would come. What was the next question?
Yeah, do you want milk with that?
Yeah,
no, because
no. So this just cuts out the middleman. But there we go. Carl, I can't remember I think I mentioned this to you off pod that my workplace was making us all do one of those personality tests.
Yes, you did.
One of the many things which I do recognise that they are basically a pile of shite and essentially just horoscopes, where they trot out these things. That does apply. Yeah, that does apply to me. But that being said, I was categorised as a creative, inspiring helper. So I'm down with it. It's fine. I mean, that sounds impressive. I like creative, inspiring, and helping. Yeah, I'm a mug. What can I say?
It sounds like the sort of personality that would be part of a successful podcast.
Exactly.
Which I think confirms the test as total bollocks.
Yep, exactly. But do you want to hear some of the more podcast-relevant strengths, weaknesses, and strategies for communicating with me?
I do.
So, strengths. We'll try anything at least once.
Yeah. Yeah, you've made that abundantly clear, and I do wish you'd stop dropping your trousers.
I said at least once, so come on. Yeah. Articulate and communicative.
Yes, that's very communicative. I don't know. Articulate, certainly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pushing it there. Weaknesses. Readily hurt by others' negative comments, Carl.
Yes.
Readily hurt.
Yeah, you are a soft shy, aren't you?
And also overly compliant and easily led.
Yes, indeed. Oh, it's nailed you, isn't it?
The best one, though, ignores objective evidence which does not support his original perception.
That's the director's thing.
And the fourth one was voiceovers.
I bet, yeah. And let me guess, the findings on that were unclear, despite assertions to the contrary.
Yeah, it's in both strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then finally, strategies to communicate with me, Carl. Okay, just so, because, you struggle sometimes. Avoid unnecessary distractions. Keep to the point.
No,
come on.
No, I can't do that.
Hang on.
No, can't do that.
So there you go. So, a few hits.
Yeah, very good.
You got anything else you want to chat about?
Well, I tell you what. I mean, I know you haven't spoken about it. Maybe you don't want to. Your football tournament you were organising this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I think I talked about that in an episode which hasn't gone out yet.
Yeah.
As well, so it gets very confusing.
I'm asking from a self-interest point of view, why didn't I win the raffle?
You didn't win the raffle. Yeah, this is true. Your tickets definitely went in, though.
That's what I'm wondering.
My dad won a prize. So proof that I put...
Right, it's proof of something. It's proof of something.
The tickets that I did in.
Not sure about this.
But no, sorry.
Yeah, no, I tell you what I did win, though.
Yeah?
I won the lottery on Friday.
Oh, how many millions?
Yeah, so my mum got me a scratch card.
Yeah, okay.
And I won £2.
Did you reinvest that?
Well, look, I'm not a mug. Of course it is, right?
To.
So we went to the pub for lunch. Scratch card in the pocket, way back. I got 2 more scratch cards. I won £5.
Oh, and
went to a different shop because I'm not an idiot. You can't go. I wanted to stick to the same card, right?
Oh, okay.
I was like, I've just had a winner off of this one, and
pound a card.
The next one's not going to win, is it? So I've got to go to a different shop. So we walked to a different shop.
5 scratch cards.
5 scratch cards. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I won £1. Went to a different shop. Got a scratch card. Won £4.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Went to a different shop.
Yeah. How many shops have you
got 4 scratch cards?
How many different shops have you been to?
Yeah. I won £5.
Right. So £5 out of the £4. So you're still £5 up at this. No.
Well, I didn't. I'm £5 up at this point because my mum got me the original scratch card, so it doesn't matter.
But you didn't stop there.
I had to stop there because I had to go back to work at that point because I'd basically spent an hour and 10,000 steps winning the lottery. That's what I'd done, right? Going around all these bloody different
and
shops.
still having to work, so it's not done well.
Yeah. The next day, went back to the shop. We'd gone away for the weekend, so I'm in a different town at this point. Bought 5 scratch cards, won £1. Right. And then finally, when I went to a different shop, I bought a scratch card and finally lost it. I won 8 times in a row. 8. I've never known anything like it.
And yet still left with nothing.
Yeah, absolutely fuck all to show for it. But 8 times in a row. Unbelievable.
It's a good run. It's a solid run.
Yeah, couldn't
What was the maximum you could have won on that scratch card?
100,000 was the top price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, worth it. Why not? Keep going.
Well, exactly. So you every time you're in the draw for 100,000. There's a school of thought which says the lottery is exceptionally good value for every week having the potential, being able to enjoy the potential of I could win all this money. So yeah, I don't play scratch cards. It's just as well because I would spend all my money on them if I got a run like that more often because the next one's the one.
Have you ever played online scratch cards?
No.
Oh, that way is my first year at
God,
university.
I bet you can burn through some money like that.
First year at university, back at a time when no one had their own computer, you had to go to a computer place to go. And I would just go, you'd get a fiver, and exactly what you just said there, you go,
the next one's the one.
And you go, and I did that. I got through too much money for a student.
No, I
can't.
It was
so quickly, like quicker than a casino. It was crazy because there's not even scratching involved, right? You just click in, and stuff, and you're done. So
no, fortunately, the gambling thing is something I've always been able to keep at bay because you see people, it wrecks lives, doesn't it?
Oh, it's good you've managed to avoid one vice.
Yeah, well, exactly. With plenty of others to go at in there. So well, there we go. Listen, I don't know about you. If you're ever struggling with your online scratch cards, as a serial winner of the lottery,
yes,
maybe you want to come to me for advice.
Yeah. I mean, I told you I'd got 5 numbers on the lottery once, right?
Yeah, and won fuck all.
Well, I paid for like a flight to America. Basically, which is nice, but one number from being a millionaire, you're like, I want more than a flight to America.
Yeah, you do. You do.
There you go. You ready to talk about movies? Or you got more?
No, I only had one more note. We did the bracket, didn't we?
We
that went out because we're not going to specifically talk about the brackets. I thought I'd throw it in there. I was quite happy with the changes. We need to tweak how and when we read the scores out.
Indeed. And also doing the full rundown of each 16 films in 3 categories was quite boring to listen to, I'll be honest.
I didn't mind it, but there's definitely some little tweaks done there. Yeah. And I think also maybe a little thing with the wildcards, maybe when we play them, or maybe we'll adjust the points, not sure. Maybe we'll lock them in somehow, but keep them as a secret until the actual tie, and then, you think you've won,
but then
actually, you've got to have locked it in before, though.
Yeah. But then obviously you need the sound effect ready to go, because that's half the fun.
Yeah, well,
3/4.
We put it in post like I did this week that you didn't notice.
Yeah, I'm not very observant.
No, where did that come in your personality test? But yeah, I was quite pleased with the changes. It was a lot less boring than listening to the same shite over and over again. And we've got one more chance to tweak it before we do Champion of Champions, haven't we? So
yes,
one more refinement before the biggie.
Now, I mean, we haven't looked beyond the 4th season. What do we do? Do we just do another one, and it's a Champion of Champions, and then we keep going and going until we end up with this huge?
We'd have to do like another 3 lots of 4.
Yeah.
To be able to do a Champion of Champions.
Yeah. So 12 seasons more.
Yeah. Well, no, 8. Could be. No, hang on. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, sorry. That's me. Not a bit.
Yeah. Carl, so this is a retro episode. And we always, because we've done this once, always talk about the highlights of the movies that we've watched in June. Now, May, I had a lot more to talk about. Even managed to pull together a top 3. I'm going to struggle with a top 3 in June because I've watched so few films because of a combination of travelling, football tournament, and basically just being very, very busy. So I've not got that many that I can talk about. I've got like, my highlight, which I can talk about.
I haven't done this either. So I've just written down the 3 films I've watched this week. And I know we said that going forward we're going to move the films we've watched from the regular episodes to this.
Yep.
And I think that'll be more conducive to then doing the top 3 and all that jazz.
Okay.
So I've only got 3 films to talk about anyway that I've watched this week.
Okay. So the one film I did want to talk about though, because I mentioned I watched it, but as it's the highlight of the films, I've not watched anything this week that hasn't been like for a podcast, so can't really talk about it. And my laptop would, if it would just stop trying to turn off, would be lovely. But the best non-podcast film I watched is Companion, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Right, a little teaser description because I didn't really go into detail with this, and I think it's well worth watching. But a weekend getaway with friends at a remote cabin turns into chaos after it's revealed that one of the guests is not what they seem. Now, I went in knowing nothing to this, which I think is the best way. Well, not just for it to be watched, but every film. But particularly this film, as in, do not watch the trailer. It will diminish the film because I watched the trailer yesterday and I was just like, oh, if I'd seen that, it would have not been as good. And I also wanted to point out, Carl, it has Rupert Friend playing a Russian.
Oh, again?
Yeah, called Sergei rather than Vasily.
Yeah, Vasily.
Yeah.
Check out Death of Stalin episode.
Death of Stalin. Yeah. So I thought that'll get you in. You like a bit of.
Don't mind a bit of Rupert Friend. Yeah.
So get that watched, Carl. It'll be an interesting one to know what you feel about it.
Okay, I'll add it to the watch list.
All right. What have you watched this week?
Well, it's really 2.5 because I logged this week after watching it a bit ago. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh yeah, is that a rewatch or?
It's a rewatch. Yeah.
So Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Is that directed by Stiller?
It might be.
I can look at that.
Yeah, you look at that. So when I'm doing the review, as anyone who follows me on Letterboxd knows, I sort of split into good, bad, meh. And I just it was so unremarkable in my memory. I only watched it like a week or 2 ago. So unremarkable in my memory, I was just like, the whole thing's meh. Like I can't think of anything to pick out, good or bad, one way or the other. Perfectly pleasant. I watched recently this Hector in the Search for Happiness.
Yes.
Which we talked about a little bit.
Simon Pegg one.
And I realised, I'd said, oh, you loved Hector in the Search for Happiness. You gave it 4 stars. You did not. You gave this 4 stars.
I gave this 4 stars?
You gave Walter Mitty 4 stars.
Oh, I mean, I barely remember it. And what I do remember was just like...
Well, I got to say, I totally get why people like it, because it's so, inoffensive, sort of middle of the road. Fine,
I don't remember it being a 4-star film.
Yeah, maybe that's
Does it have
under your
Sean Penn in it?
It does have Sean Penn in it. Yeah.
I'm remembering it right.
He was all right. The whole thing's just it's all right. But it did make me slightly frustrated because I made reference to when I reviewed Hector in the Search for Happiness. Oh, this is like a sort of a nastier version of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And I really wished I'd called Hector in the Search for Happiness The Secret Life of Walter Shitty. And I missed that. So I'm throwing it out there now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's worth a recap.
So there we go.
It was directed by Ben Stiller.
Yeah. It's completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably overrated that.
One of those where you watch in the right mood, you'll have a great time with it.
I saw it at cinema. I remember.
I'm sure. Great way to watch any film, as we've said before.
Aye.
Other film I've watched, Purple Noon.
Purple Noon?
Noon, yeah. Do you know we were talking about the French and their renaming of films?
Yes.
So this is a French film, and the French name is Plein Soleil.
Something sun.
Like uncovered sun or bright sun.
Okay.
It translates to.
And it's Purple Noon.
And it's Purple Noon. So it's like they've changed it into another language and completely changed the name and also the meaning for reasons.
Yeah.
For just like the French
sounds
strange,
better, I guess, right? Yeah. Whatever Purple Noon is in French probably sounded weird or something.
Yeah. So Purple Noon is the original The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh.
So obviously it's a book, but the first film adaptation of it is Purple Noon in French. definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's on Amazon Prime at the moment.
How old are we talking? Was this
1960, I think.
Okay.
Different. Not entirely different plot-wise to Anthony Minghella version. Santa Mr. Ripley. But different in tone, I would say. I haven't watched the TV series, so I don't know where that sits.
There's a TV series?
Yeah, there's a TV series with Andrew Scott.
That's completely passed me by.
Yeah. But really worth a watch. I would say the good stuff of The Talent of Mr. Ripley is alive and well in Purple Noon. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, recommendation for sure.
Have you ever read the book?
No.
It's funny how some books just get continually made and remade and stuff, isn't it?
I think I'd really enjoyed the book, actually, from the bits I was reading about it.
Yeah.
Might be one I'll try and seek out
Holiday
for
read?
next time. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Holiday read, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And then the only other film I've watched this week is a rewatch, Body of Lies.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaacs pops up in that.
Is that a Tony Scott film? No.
No, it's a Ridley Scott film.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah, and Mark Strong in his
Is he
peak.
playing Mark Strong?
In his peak Mark Strong
Villain.
phase. Yeah, pretty well, yeah, sort of. I think it's slept on a little bit. It is not a serious film because it's set in the Middle East and the conflict at that time.
What year was this? Do you remember?
2008.
2008. Okay, right, yeah.
So it's not like it's very Ridley Scott. He's gone sort of quite gritty, and he's got what he thinks is really quite cool without ever really taking without ever really being concerned with historical accuracy or taking a stance on the politics or anything like that. But I think it's pretty enjoyable. I think it's a bit of thriller espionage type thing. Leo's really good in it. Mark Strong's definitely not Jordanian, but he plays a Jordanian quite Ridley Scott in it, mate. Yeah, so.
He's got.
Should we consider casting someone vaguely Middle Eastern for this Ridley?
Nah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I think it slept on a little bit. That Body of Lies, good stuff.
Lovely. Well, Carl, I think that's exhausted the chit chat. And you know what else is exhausted?
Your beer.
My beer. So I think it is time to unveil the podcast ale. Now, what's the thoughts on the retro beers then?
Yeah. So I did sort of think, and do I try find another one to tie into one of the films that we'll be discussing this week? Do I try find one that has like a play on words for a retrospective, something like that? Do I just look for something which I consider to be a bit of a throwback for whatever, weave that in? And I did look, and mostly because I forgot we were recording the retro today.
I felt you had.
Yeah. I just ended up buying a beer that we've had before, but we like.
Well, that's a retro, right?
Well,
exactly. There you go.
I can't remember the episode that we had this on.
Oh, let's see if drinking it will bring the memory back.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. So, it is a Vocation, Life and Death.
Ah, classic. All right, Carl, we're going to kick things off with some general apologies and corrections over recent times that we've stopped doing in our normal episodes. So, over to you. I think you have some.
I have one. It doesn't relate to any of the films we're discussing today, so that's why it's here. Johnny has been in contact.
Yep.
About Sinners. He will not let that drop. Well, he wouldn't let it lie.
Specifically?
Yeah, he points out that when we discuss Sinners, we both had a problem with the vampire segment of the film, and to varying degrees, we both could have done without it and would have preferred just a straight film. And then we both went on to pick Remick as the best character.
Who is the vampire.
Yep. Yeah. So do we have a defence, or are we just full of shit?
I mean, 100% the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was a little more... I didn't have a problem with the vampire thing. I just wanted the vampire thing to be more interesting.
Yeah, you called it as the weakest part in the film.
Yeah.
But then said, but Remick's the best character.
Yeah. Do I have a defence?
It's weird, isn't it? But here's the thing: I do still think that, even though he
could be not a vampire in that and still be essentially the same character. Right? I mean,
I think I just really like Jack O'Connell.
Yeah, maybe. who's got range apparently.
He has got range. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know, would you? Because you're not very. I can't remember your personality quiz. Was there anything in there I can leverage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could say that I ignores objective evidence.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Original perception.
Yes.
So,
yeah. You've decided he hasn't got range, so therefore, whatever he does from this point, wasted on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got any apologies or corrections, largely because I forgot that was a thing. So there probably are some, but I'll just have to wait for July.
Yeah, your wife's sitting at home now listening to that again. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to be clear, she's definitely the one with the problem with apologising.
Oh, we're putting that out there, are we?
Just to be clear, she knows. I tell her.
All right. Yeah, you tell her. Oh, dear.
All right, let's kick things off with our 3 films we're covering today with Moulin Rouge. And technically, this was released in May.
Yeah.
But towards the end of May, so we didn't really have time to, hilariously, reflect and gather feedback now.
How's that reflection gone for you?
Yeah. I mean, I did re-listen to a little bit of it yesterday. Today? A day in the last 2 days.
Yeah, I listened to the episode. It was fine.
Yeah.
You remember where you went in on your needle?
I was a like to start.
You were a like, yeah.
I was a like to end.
Yeah, I was a don't like, and also remained unchanged.
Yeah, so quite a rare one recently. We've been quite movieing.
Definitely more movieing this month than last month.
Yes, but this was one where neither of us moved. However, you were just like, well, it's just not your sort of film. You didn't really think I was wrong as such. It's just not really your thing. You don't like what you don't like, you know. Yeah. You did say it was too long, and you had a bit of a problem with the rapid cutting.
It's not great, but you know, it's not bad enough for any of that to be really problematic. We didn't have any listener feedback for this one because it's shite.
Well, I did get a message.
Oh, you did. Fair enough.
From Will that said it was a picture of his TV with the opening bit of Moulin Rouge showing, and it just said, "Seriously, fuck you."
It was like we've forced him to watch it. Yeah,
and probably not just watch it, probably buy it, because he literally buys everything. So if he owns a film, he had no interest in ever watching as well. So he's got the.
Has he not seen it before?
No.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I really appreciate putting in the work.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't provide any more feedback apart from it was everything I expected and worse.
Yeah.
I did ask whether I was likely to be able to movie his needle, prior to him listening to the episode, because he's a proper champ. You know, he'll watch the film.
Yeah, give it a crack. Yeah,
and he did reply, "I'll keep an open mind to any bullshit you come up with about this turd."
Yeah,
I didn't get any further messages, so I'm guessing unsuccessful.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's not great, and I think as I said at the time, I know exactly why you like it, because it's very much that sort of something to just stick on for hour and a half, 2 hours, and enjoy this sort of nonsense of it all. That's fine.
Yeah, so I don't really have any lingering thoughts.
Well, my main thought since is, why the fuck do you keep calling the unconscious Argentinian the narcoleptic?
Because he's narcoleptic. I've diagnosed him properly.
Yeah, but he's billed as the unconscious Argentinian. And I thought you just had forgot that and misspoke. No. Then you named the episode as that. So I was like, are you doing a bit? I don't understand the bit. Can you explain the bit, and you can unlock the comedy within it then? Because, explaining makes things funnier.
No, it's just a narcoleptic Argentinian.
Well, yeah, but he's... right, okay. But he is billed as the unconscious Argentinian.
Sure, but he's not always unconscious. It's inaccurate.
Right, okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He's conscious for large portions of the film. He sings at one point. Pretty sure he's conscious for that.
Okay.
I can't be blamed for Baz Luhrmann's poor naming of characters.
Yeah.
I can source to correct them.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there will be characters billed in films based on what they are doing.
Oh, like the protagonist?
Well, no. That's something different. I mean, you really struggle with that, don't you? And I sort of like the idea that you're going to have a different... Well, that's a rubbish name. What he is. Yeah. But what happens if what he is isn't relevant to what he was doing for that film?
But the unconscious Argentinian isn't any more relevant than narcoleptic. Narcoleptic Argentinian...
That's what it was called.
Is more accurate and reflective and actually descriptive of said character.
Yeah, I think the laughs from him are supposed to come from when he falls unconscious, though.
Yeah, for the narcolepsy,
Yeah.
because he's narcoleptic and Argentinian.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, if a narcoleptic's awake, are they any different to you or I? Not really. They're not impacting the situation. But when they fall, so if you ever spend any time with a narcoleptic, you're going to be like, oh, he could go at any moment. Watch him.
This is a film that I've watched way too many times. Right? Have you ever seen Juice Bigelow, Male Gigolo?
Probably.
I've watched that a lot as a certain age.
I definitely have not.
Yeah. So it's obviously Schneider guy. What's his name? Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
And in that he doesn't date. He's a gigolo. He what does he do? He doesn't just fuck them. He takes them out. Yeah. Whatever. Entertains. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
One of the characters is a narcoleptic, and I'll be honest. Best bit of the film. Just the narcolepsy is inherently funny. I'm sorry. I mean, it just is. I know it's probably not for the person who's a narcoleptic, and it's probably incredibly dangerous and worrying at times. But putting your date in a football helmet and like a American football helmet and taking them dancing just so when they fall down, funny. Fine with it.
The best use of narcolepsy on screen, of course, is The Sopranos. But you haven't seen that, so you would know what I'm talking about. Have you heard the word? He is risen.
No.
Wasted on you.
Yep.
My other lingering thought is, why were we talking about Danny Dyer so much? It even made it into the intro.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I think that's a sign of how shit the film is.
Oh, because we were talking French.
Right. Join those stars for me.
Accents, French. No, I don't know.
I don't know how we got there. But yeah, when I flicked it on again in preparation for this, I was like, why is Danny Dyer in the intro?
Yeah. He did get mentioned during the thing.
He did. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Who knows?
Yeah, otherwise, by God, what an unremarkable film. It hasn't left a mark on me at all.
This was the last of our episodes where we did the full data section. So do we want to crack through it again, or do we want to just refer?
Yeah, we'll quickly just crack through it again. That's what we did in the last retro.
Ratings then. Carl, you were
I was a 2.
I was a 3.
Yeah.
IMDb 7.6, quite high. Letterboxd 3.8, bang on. Metascore 66. 8 nominations, 2 wins. 1 for Best Art Direction and Costume. Nominated for Best Picture. Beautiful Mind won that one. Nominated for Best Actress.
Check out episode.
Beautiful. Oh, Christ, yeah. In our feed somewhere.
Yeah.
Nominated for Best Actress for, what's her face?
Nicole.
Aussie. Yep. And lost out to Halle Berry. So, no complaints.
Oh, yeah, we had to complaints. Go. But please God, don't take that away from Halle Berry.
Yeah, totally fine. Thank you. Please don't.
Did I say Nicole Kidman was good? I thought she was shit in this.
Yeah. Nothing compared to Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Cinematography, editing, makeup, and sound all lost to Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Almost rhymed. Rewatchability, yes, for me. Although a little long, there's enough easy access joy to make this an easy yes.
Yeah, it's a very no from me. I'll hopefully never watch this again.
And then best scene, for me it was the Roxanne one. I think I settled on.
Yeah, I had writing in my notes so exciting, but I think I changed it to Roxanne in the pod. I don't give a fuck.
Best quote. I struggled a little bit with this. I came up with something that was a bit more, I don't know, it wasn't funny or deep. It was just a line that I quite liked. Christian, you may see me only as a drunken, vice-ridden gnome whose friends are just pimps and girls from the brothels. But I know about art and love, if only because I long for it with every fibre of my being.
Yeah, really weak stuff.
Yeah.
I put, and in the end, someone should die. I don't think I cracked a joke about that, so maybe Phil.
And their favourite character,
the unconscious
Zidler.
Argentinian, because there's just nothing else.
I went for Harold Zidler because there's a bit more going on.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, he wasn't terrible, to be fair. Jim Broadbent was good as Zidler.
Do you want a game, Carl?
I'd love a game.
Excellent. All right, Carl, time for a game. So, in keeping with tradition, if tradition can be the second time.
Is it blind rankings?
It's blind ranking. It's not just a blind ranking, it's a blind ranking of something you love. For last time we did submarine films.
Yeah.
What else do you love, Carl?
Well, I feel like you're going to say James Bond.
No, it's not James Bond. What else do you love?
A beer. I like beer.
Yeah, you do like beer. Not very film related, but it's...
I mean, can you say something as nebulous as vibes?
Well, let's see if you can guess after the song.
Okay.
Bradley Pitts can stay on the shelf. He ain't always risking his own health. Today's stars just ain't got the same soul. Can't like old Tommy Cruise is on. Don't try and give him Russell Crowe. He can't even recognize his flaws. In 2 minutes he'll be coming for sure. Carl likes the old Tommy Cruise is on.
Right. I can't recognise his flaws, don't know if that's fair. Have you seen how Tom Cruise has hijacked the F1 red carpet this week?
I have not, no.
Because obviously the Brad Pitt F1 film's coming out.
Yeah.
Very excited to go see it at the cinema, by the way.
Yeah, IMAX, I think, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, Tom Cruise just showed up and he's been there and, grabbing all the limelight because that's what he does. I tell you, mate, an insufferable pint. A terrible pint. Hell of a film star, but just a terrible pint.
But anyway, this is the big TCBR.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so we're blind ranking Tom Cruise films. All right.
Oh, there's so many.
There is it. I was tempted to even split it between the halves of career.
Yeah,
there was so many, but I thought, there's no fun in that. So there's a few mixed in from various ages of Cruise, I suppose. As usual, if you've not seen it, you're too bad, I guess, is the answer. But yeah. I've got a feeling you've seen all of these. Pretty sure you've seen all of these.
Right.
So we're going to kick things off, Carl, with Minority Report.
I like Minority Report. It's good.
But where does it sit?
I think that was one of the first uses of digital lighting in films or something like that.
I mean, maybe, sure. Sounds like a thing.
Because he wanted to... it's Mann, isn't it? It's Michael Mann.
Spielberg.
Is it Spielberg?
Mm.
Is it?
Mm.
Oh, fair enough. But I'm sure this is a film where they wanted to make the lights look retro. And at a certain point in time, lights have stopped being incandescent, like street lights, and they're all like LED and what have you now. Or maybe even halogen, I don't know. But they burn with a very different shade. And so they put like this digital effect on to make all the lights look retro, which I think most films don't go to the trouble of. So if you ever see a film, like a period piece, and it's set in sort of like the 70s or 80s or something like that, they're probably not getting the lighting right. But I think they really went after it in this.
Well, there we go. Look, we pretend we don't know what we're talking about, but you just came up with something which sounded like...
Yeah, but then I didn't know who directed it, so I might have got the complete wrong
you say
film.
That, I was so confident with that, and I was so confident that I'm now Googling it just to make sure. It was Spielberg. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Phew. Anyway, you know how I like to clip up these games? Really fuck this, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like, can you just answer the fucking question?
Well,
Minority Report.
It's the first question, isn't it? So you can ask it again, and then you can clip
So,
it.
Carl, Minority Report.
We do like Minority Report.
Did you know? In lighting.
There we go. That's one for you. Right. Clip that up. Yeah, no, Minority Report. Right. Okay. Blind ranking. God,
this is how it works. You've got 1 to 10 to pick from.
Yeah, because we don't want to go too high, do we? I've got just a little feeling, because how many Tom Cruises do I realistically not like?
Well, that's the trouble.
I think we're going to slot Minority Report 6 or 7. Let's go 7, because I've gone too high with stuff in the past straight out the gate. Let's go 7, Minority Report.
7, okay. So next up is Top Gun.
Yeah, now Top Gun's good. Let's go 5.
5 for Top Gun, okay.
Oh, I should have gone 6. No, let's go 5, yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow. Or Live, Die, Repeat, depending on...
Yeah, your region. Depending on whether you're French or not, probably. It's good. It's good. Emily Blunt, of course,
Definitely.
fantastic in that film.
Points.
Really, really good. Love how she's sticking it to him at times in that movie. She's so badass in that movie, Emily Blunt. Really great.
Yeah. I want her arms in that film on me.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah. I'd be happy with it as well. In fact, if I could have her head on you. Yeah. It's nice to look at it. Do I go 4 or 6? Let's go 6 because there's some big guns still out there.
Oh,
There's some big guns
I thought
still
it'd
out
go
there.
ahead of Top Gun. Okay, The Color of Money.
I like The Colour of Money.
Oh, it's fun watching you squirm. It's good.
Yeah, like there's still
This is
so
why we
much.
should go video.
There's still so much out there. But you know what? The Colour of Money has got that real classic 80s about it. So I'm going to go 4.
4. Okay. Well, next up, we talked about Nicole Kidman in this episode. Days of Thunder.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple of times, but only as a kid. Never in my adult life.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that one down at number 9.
9. Okay, he's leaving room for manoeuvre. A Few Good Men.
I can put that at 8.
Oh, really?
I don't.
You're not a big fan of A Few Good Men?
No, it's fine. I don't love it as much as some of the stuff that's still out there. And honestly, I think I do. I think the ones I've put above it, yeah, I'm solid on that. I think I like all the ones above it more than A Few Good Men.
All right, okay. Next one, I know you like this one, Carl.
Yeah.
The Firm.
Oh, do I like this one? I think I'm just going to go straight out there. Courage of My Convictions, number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 2, 3, and 10 left. Okay.
Yeah.
And next up is one we have covered on the podcast, Cocktail.
Yeah. Oh, this is tough. I would love a bit of wiggle room. I don't want to put this one 10. Can I put it as high as 3?
Yeah, that's a big old shift there.
Now, I'll freely admit this is not one of his better films, but it has the 80s.
Perfectly enjoyable.
And, oh my God, it's so 80s, the music,
call it
some
underrated.
of the visuals. You might call it, it's definitely underrated. The critics did it really dirty. Tom Cruise as that, his glorious 80s persona before he started getting all like, oh, we need to make me a bit flawed at least. Loads of fun. So I like it more than it's actually good, I'll admit that. But do I like it number 3?
You know what's to come as well? It's like, oh.
I can't put it 10, though. I can't put it 10. I've got to go number 3.
3, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that means we've got 2,
Yeah.
10, and...
No, just 2 and 10.
2 and 10. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
2 films left.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I cannot count. Okay.
I'm really worried I've forgotten about something.
Well, I think that was a good move. So we got Mission Impossible next.
Oh, shit. Well, Mission Impossible's got to go number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means...
Oh, I so want to fuck you over
Yeah,
here.
you should have put American Made in here, but you haven't.
I haven't. I wish I had.
I'd forgotten about Mission Impossible. I was expecting American Made to come out.
No.
Because had I remembered that those two were out there, I would have put Cocktail 10. And
this is it. I was expecting you to think that I was going to put American Made in.
Yeah.
So I thought I won't put American Made in because you'll leave room for it. And then you'll have at the end, The Mummy.
No, Mummy sits right about 10.
I know it does.
Yeah,
that's very
It's
annoying.
a really good list. I'm really chuffed with that. Yeah.
Nailed it, which is incredibly irritating because I really wanted The Mummy to be number 2 or something.
No. That's a great list.
Oh, so disappointed. Anyway, The Mummy, you can check our feed for that pilot show.
Yeah, nice.
So we've got The Firm at number 1, Mission Impossible number 2, Cocktail number 3, Colour of Money number 4, Top Gun number 5, Edge of Tomorrow number 6, Minority Report number 7, A Few Good Men number 8, Days of Thunder number 9, and The Mummy number 10.
I'm so happy with that.
You bastard.
I am so happy with that.
You just completely outplayed me on that one.
American Made would be a real spanner in the works. Top Gun Maverick, I actually prefer to Top Gun.
Yeah.
I maybe even like your Rogue Nations. Oh, I really like Rogue Nations.
Tell you what, we can do another Tom Cruise blind ranking because we've got plenty more to go at.
Oh, I love that list. Yes, great list.
Well done. All right, and moving on to our second movie of today, The Big Short. So this is one where I initially came in ambivalent. This was one that you really liked.
I really liked this one, yeah.
I ended on a like, though, so there was a movement. Now, you didn't like it. You didn't like how I moved. You felt like it was... I was giving it to you thing.
Yeah, it was just tapping.
You got to take it where you get it there.
Yeah.
So there was a needle move. Indeed. So yeah, as I said, one of the few that in the last recent episodes where we have had the movie The Needled. No, that doesn't. Movie to the Needle. Oh Christ, who thought this name?
Yeah.
Stupid name. We should rebrand. What do you reckon?
It's only gained us one listener as well, as far as we can tell. Putting movie in, and we don't know if he's still listening. Jamie, was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is going way back, wasn't it? Well, we need to get movie in the title so people find us.
Yeah.
So apparently that doesn't mean anything.
We did work once.
Yeah, sure.
We know that.
Anyway, Carl,
he approached you in public.
Who is this?
It was someone at football.
Oh yeah, James. Good point. Yeah, he did. Yeah, fair point.
So the logical thing for us would go, well, if somebody is approaching me in public, and what are the chances of that having organically stumbled across a podcast?
Yeah,
that means it must to the thousands.
Yeah,
1,000 happen, does it?
No, just hundreds. Just the hundreds.
Just the hundreds? Have we got hundreds?
Sure.
Yeah.
No one else knows, Carl.
Yeah,
it's not visible, so let's just lie.
Good.
People think we're popular and therefore want to listen to us because that's how it works. Anyway, what listener feedback do you have, Carl, from the Big Short episode?
So a listener got in contact, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
And he asked if I'd read the book.
Yes, but you have not.
Which I have not. And I thought it would have been a great bit at that point if he'd have gone, yeah, me neither. And then just exited the conversation at that point. So,
that would have been
just listen to the Big Short of it. Have you read the book? No, me neither. But I think actually he has read the book, and it's worth a read. Was the upshot.
So your holiday reading list is growing.
Yeah, I need a holiday.
You do need to. Well, luckily for you, you're addicted to them. So.
Yeah, I've got one coming up. To be fair, yeah. No, I don't know if the Big Short would make it on because it doesn't scream holiday reading, does it?
It does not. No, this is true.
But one of the things I liked about the Big Short was how it managed to. I mean, we talked about it being accessible, and how it brought you into
Margot Robbie's bathtub.
Margot Robbie's bathtub, yes, but a bit of detail around what happened, because a lot of the media narrative we got spun in this country was that Gordon Brown's a cunt. Which is a ridiculous sort of position to take when actually the problem was the American banking system collapsed because they sold mortgages they shouldn't have done. So, yeah, genuinely, I did enjoy learning about all the stuff that went on about the financial crisis.
And I think my key takeaway from it was I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. No one understands it.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. So I could well see the book being a good read, to be fair. So, yeah, a recommendation from Sam. Thank you. Will it make it on the holiday reading list? Probably not.
No. Are you a bedtime reader?
No, so the only time I genuinely do any reading these past few years,
on the phone,
not really. Yeah, it's on the phone. Is on holiday.
Yeah. So
otherwise, when I'm walking out and about, audiobooks. But actual physical sat-downs, it'll be holiday.
So you're only reading for like 26 weeks of the year.
Yeah. Very true.
Some ratings, Scott. Or have you got any more lingering thoughts? Sorry.
Well, I just bloody love it, mate. That was my sort of lingering thought.
It just lingers there like a bad smell.
Where I sort of hadn't thought about Moulin Rouge, I hadn't given Moulin Rouge a second thought. I was psyched for ages after we did the Big Short. Or as Jared Vanette would say, I'm jacked to the tits.
It's weird because watching the film, that line did not stick in my head. However, recording the episode, that line has stuck in my head.
It's because do you feel it? No.
And I didn't even like watching it. I was just like, "What are you talking about?" And then since you've said that line is, I've said that.
Ryan Gosling's so good in that movie, man.
Oh,
he's so good.
But yeah, I've not thought. This isn't one that's made me like think about it. I've not like just in the shower, just going because I think actually leans into somewhat of what you were saying, that it's a very accessible film, and actually like depth wise, I don't think there's not massive amounts of depth to it because it's not hugely character driven.
It's very direct. It's very direct, right? They are not going for the like. I think it's good satire in that it is pretty direct about who the bad guys are, and it doesn't do what the Don't Look Up film does, which is also the Adam McKay one.
Yeah,
which is it has this
McKay, not McKay,
McKay, whatever you like. It has a silly ending, and it's almost fluff that because the rich people get their comeuppance.
Yeah,
that's not how the world works, right? That's not what happens.
Not. No.
Big Short goes, this is bad. These people get away from it. The American taxpayer will bail them out. Actually, taxpayers across the world because it triggered a global financial collapse. And we will all blame immigrants and poor people for that, which is exactly what happened.
Has your opinion changed on the film since you've become a serial lottery winner?
No, it hasn't.
Oh, okay, I just thought it might.
I recognise my own privilege.
Sure.
So, I think I'd be one of those lottery winners if I won big.
Oh,
I'd be taking a lot of people with me. I have no desire to mix with the sort of people who have that level of wealth. I saw a great tweet the other day that said, one of the most savage insults I think I've ever seen is, "Oh, you look like you'd enjoy Dubai." Which I think's a great insult.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no desire to mix with those people. I would take a lot of people with me if I got rich.
Me, please.
Yeah, well, you make the extended list. Don't worry about it.
Excellent.
So
or fourth tier.
yeah. Yes, it is not particularly deep, but it's very direct with, yeah, but these are the cunts, and it's all bullshit. And yes, we're going to be light-hearted about it, but we are going to be pretty uncompromising in painting that picture. So yeah, it's a ride, but it's pretty simplistic and direct as well. I agree with that.
Should we get some data?
Yeah. Well, the only other note I've got from the podcast is we came up with a third pronunciation for pathos, which I think is a UK versus US thing. Pathos. We sort of went for pathos in that episode, but I've been rolling around that since because, like I said, this is something I've actually thought this is an episode that stayed with me for a little bit, and I'm sort of settling on patos.
Patos.
Yeah, I like patos. So maybe it'll keep changing, but next time we say patos.
I reckon, America made a pathos.
They say pathos, Americans.
I know, but if they were a pathos.
Yeah, that does sound like something you can imagine them saying, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm patos at the moment, so we'll see where that goes. But I like it. It's stuck.
I just want you to just crack that out in everyday life. And
Well,
and everyone's like, have I been saying it wrong?
Yeah, exactly. I probably will because I think we've said it in episodes since. I'm like, if anybody's not listened to The Big Short, they go, these clowns don't know how to say pathos.
Anyway, rating scale. What rating did you give this on the old Letterboxd?
Still not logged it.
Okay. Well, what rating are you going to give?
I'm going to give it 4.5.
4.5?
I'm going big, yeah.
Big
I'm going
boy. Big. I wish I regret that immediately. just say big boy into the microphone.
That's out there now.
Yeah, that's not good. Oh, I've given you 3.5. 4.5. There we go. So I was at 3.
It's quite low.
It's quite low. I've not redressed this since the episode though. So there is potential. This could be it's not going to go up to
your stuff.
4,
No, fair enough. I'm going to say your stuff was mostly some production stuff, right? You were pretty happy with the acting and the plot.
Oh yeah. It was mainly the. It still made me feel stupid. I didn't love.
I think that's you. I think that's your shit, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, sure.
The film's literally telling you.
I know, that's why I don't like it.
Feel stupid? Yeah. You're supposed to.
I know, but I don't like that. It's like you're telling me to feel stupid because, but then that makes you feel like you're better than me.
No, it's telling you it's not better than you. Yeah.
It's okay to feel stupid, dumbass.
Yeah.
Anyway, but anyway, 3.5, around that region. Anyway, the old IMDb 7.8. Decent. 3.8. So Letterboxd slightly under rating compared to IMDb, but pretty much there. Metascore 81. Looking good. Nominations I think we covered some of this during the cast and production side of things, but it had 5 nominations in that year. Winner for adapted screenplay, and we did like the screenplay. The screenplay is very, very
You
good,
did
very
initially
natural.
say there weren't many great lines, and then we said lots of great lines,
Yes.
and then you took that back. Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Picture, but lost out to Spotlight. What do we feel about Spotlight, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
This was on our shortlist for potential episode Spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Spotlight. I don't know if I would have given Spotlight the Best Picture nod over this. I think I would have gone Big Short.
McKay lost out to The Revenant for Best Director with pronunciation name.
Oh, the
Iñárritu. González Iñárritu.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
That guy. Editing lost out to Fury Road, and supporting actor Christian Bale got the nomination, but Mark Rylance won it for Bridge of Spies. Back when Mark Rylance was
hot property.
Yeah, he was. He was kind of went through that little.
I need to rewatch Bridge of Spies.
It was fine. Yeah, I wasn't. Wow.
It's in my Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy pile, where I've seen
Soldier,
these
Bridge of
films. Yeah, I've seen these films, and they're a little more meatier and slow paced than some of the more other accessible stuff. And I need to get back to them, really. Yeah.
No, fair. Rewatchability, Carl. Imagine this is fairly high.
That's
for
a
you.
very yes for me. Yeah, it's very yes.
I put it as a meh. Not because it's, as you say, not accessible and fairly easy, but I don't know. Just the need to rewatch it doesn't. There's nothing there that's really like, oh yeah, I really need to.
It's interesting
about this.
It's interesting that I think that speaks to something we'll talk about when we discuss classics.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll put a pin in that, as the annoying corporate wankers say.
What's that even mean?
I think you just put it over there. I don't know. Put a pin in it over there, and you're gonna get it. I don't know. But anyway, let's put a pin in it.
Park that. We'll park that.
Oh yeah, park it.
Yeah.
So right, the thing that pisses me off, work thing, right? So we'll have this area where you'll put things that are not relevant to what you're talking about, but you want to keep them for later.
Yeah.
And they call it a car park.
Yeah.
But I'm not parking a fucking car in it.
Yeah.
Don't call it a car park.
Yeah.
It's a parking lot, if anything, right? If you're going down the American thing, it's a parking lot. You can park anything there. Ideas, thoughts, whatever. It's not a car park, though. This isn't a fucking car. It doesn't work like that. Get your fucking naming right.
Yeah. What would you like? Like the idea repository. Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like repositories, you could come up with something like the idea cloud or something, something more wanky than that. Yeah, I reckon you could come up with something better.
Awful people.
Anyway, best scene.
I love Vanette's sales pitch with the Jenga and all the rest of it.
Oh yes, with his
quant.
Is that with his quant?
Yeah, my quant, my quantitative,
and his little assistant dude.
Yeah.
You smell that?
Yeah.
Opportunity? No.
Money.
Very good. So my favourite scene is the Mortgage Bros one, where it's like, why are they confessing?
Yeah.
They're not confessing, they're bragging.
Yeah.
That whole thing was that was almost like the most powerful bit, where you say, oh my God, it's these kind of people that are profiteering off of this, and that's why we're in this shitstorm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they were. I mean, they were, because they were getting the commission on everything they sell, but they were very low level and essentially replicate them over and over. That's kind of why I like Vanette's character so much, Gosling's character so much, because he was the one who actually saw what was going on, and he was like, "I'm going to profit at a much higher level to this." I will say my honourable mentions for the scene. I thought. I mean, your issues on production aside, I thought all 3 pieces to camera, those explainers, were really good.
The celebrity ones?
Yeah, I really liked all 3 of them. I thought they were a really good explainer, and each sort of very sort of snappy. I mean, Margot Robbie in a bubble bath. Amazing. Completely leaning into it, and then she tells us to fuck off at the end. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Can you please tell me to fuck off again? Anthony Bourdain with a chef and his fish soup, brilliant. And then Selena Gomez and the money at the table and the side Bessie, really good explanation. I thought they were all great, but Jared Vanette steals the show for me in The Big Short, and that sales pitch was electric.
Good stuff. Right, what about quotes, Carl?
Well, I mean, listen, my favourite we've already done. I'm jacked to the tits. But there are some honourable mentions I'd love to call out. I love the time to call bullshit on what? On every fucking thing. It's brilliant because it is just bullshit. There's a really good one from Rick at Brad Pitt. He goes, if we're right, people lose homes, people lose jobs, people lose retirement savings, people lose pensions. Do you know what I hate about fucking banking? It reduces people to numbers. Here's a number. Every 1% unemployment goes up, 40,000 people die. Did you know that? It's brilliant. I love the way this film does that over and over. And I take the point you said when we were doing the pod. There is a more serious film to be made out there. There's a more grittier film. Yeah, there's a grittier film that takes those stories and turns that number that he's just said and takes those stories and puts the personal stories on screen and shows you the real world effects of that. But as we are, this punchy, snappy thing, I love that shit. And it's right. Fucking vote better because it matters. People die when you vote the way that you vote. Jared Vanette has another great one. Says, when he's talking about credit default swaps, let me put it this way. I'm standing in front of a burning house and I'm offering you fire insurance on it. That's brilliant. Mark Baum, the banks have given us 25 interest rates on credit cards. They've screwed us over on student loans that we can never get out from under. Then this guy walks into my office and says, those same banks are not greedy. They lost track of the market and I can profit off their stupidity. Fuck yeah, I want them to be right. I loved his simmering anger throughout Steve Carrell in that film. So, yeah, loads. I could have written down loads more, but I'm jacked to the tits. Takes it.
Yeah. So
no.
I got a couple. So the Mark Baum one, where he just goes, "I love my job.
You hate your job.
I love my job.
You hate your job.
I love my job." Which it's literally me and my football thing.
I love my job.
No, it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding and needed. It's very rewarding and but then the one I did like, which I like the quotes that I could use. Please don't be chipper in the face of me being miserable.
It's very good.
Very good. Character, Carl.
It's got to be Jared Vanette. I mean, I love Mark Baum and his apoplectic rage throughout, but Ryan Gosling is so good as Vanette in this. He's such a terrific arsehole.
Yeah, so I'm going down the Mark Baum route. I thought Steve Carrell is
character.
fantastic in this, and I thought as a character, he's one of the more interesting ones.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was something about the Gosling character that just, I don't know, didn't click with me.
I think you like Gosling though,
I do like Gosling.
and you
I
like
do
Gosling
like
to be this more affable, sort of likable character.
I don't know. I like him in like Full Nelson, and I like him in Crazy Stupid Love and stuff, where he's not always likable. He does turn out to be
No,
more
but
likable.
yeah,
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I was between that and Ben Rickett, played by Brad Pitt as well, just because I just really like that character. I would have a beer with that character.
Yeah.
Like, I would quite enjoy.
For some reason, in an English pub.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you know? We sort of said, like, I sort of said in changes, like, what's that scene doing that? Like, why is he in England, sort of thing? Do you think that's because he's weird and interesting Americans go on holiday to England? Was that what they were going for? I don't know.
Yeah, he's not like someone who's made billions and is on a yacht.
Yeah.
He's in a weird English pub in the middle of nowhere.
He's not going to get out of South Carolina or North Carolina, is it? They go. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Instead he goes to rural England because he's weird. I don't know. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on The Big Short, Carl?
No, bloody love it, mate.
Good stuff. All right, let's move on. Okay, moving on to our final film of the day, Casablanca. And this is one which I started out as a really like. I ended on a really like. Carl, I think you started as a rather soft don't like.
Yeah, it was a soft don't like, but it was a don't like, yeah.
And you moved all the way to like.
Yeah. Are we calling that you're going to get 2 points for that, are we saying?
But I don't think we're doing it like that. It's just like if
you move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we're. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should do a depth of move.
Giggly.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I really enjoyed talking about Casablanca. I really enjoyed watching Casablanca. Blah, blah, blah. I think I even said I watched it more on rewatch than the first time.
You did say you watched it more on rewatch.
Yeah, and I definitely did. I did watch it more. But
Incredible.
Listener feedback, Carl. What have we been hearing from the people that have been listening to our episode?
Johnny got in touch to say, did you say thick with the double C when talking about the thick human story? I think it's just some online parlance for talking about a lady's big arse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, it did not. It was CK. I was talking about a rich human story rather than a lovely bottom.
No, that would feel somewhat out of place in Casablanca.
Listen, we've always got time for lovely bottoms on this podcast.
We're down with it.
Yeah. No, so yeah, that was the only listener feedback I had on that. But I did have a correction as well, because you said like the beginning of A Beautiful Friendship was the final line in the film. I was like, oh, do you know what? I think Louis might retort. We'll have to check that. I did check it. You were correct. That is
It's a good final line as well.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, there's quite a few good lines.
There's a lot of good lines. Yeah, this is one where. Well, we walked through them all in the episode in terms of the number of entries it has in the best lines of all time.
Yeah, it basically had them backwards though.
Yeah, it did seem to. Yeah, compared to what you'd expect. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't do this research. I probably should have. If there are any other films that have that many entries in that list, it would seem odd if there were, because there'd be very few films in the whole list if that was the case. I do actually have some lingering thoughts on this, Carl. The first was, I went to re-listen to this episode on Apple Podcasts, and it had a button that says play again. Even they can't get the fucking quote right.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And this was, of course, the episode with Casa blankety blank, which still a bit disappointed with how that game went. I was well up for that. You coming out with some zingers and it being working really well.
Well, it did go how Cards Against Humanity goes, which is never as well as you expect.
Exactly. But I did say that this might be a good thing if we had a social following. An online following and stuff, putting those out and seeing what comes back might be quite fun. Yeah, fun to do. So I've still got that on the back burner to see if I can get any kind of leverage on. Leverage isn't the right word. Any interest in doing that. But we'll see. Yeah. Now, I've got another thing to pick up with you on this one. Mm-hmm. Do you want to explain to those not familiar with that computer game what the hell you did throughout the episode?
Yes. Because one of my thoughts since this movie is it just made me really want to play Grim Fandango again.
Yes, I could tell.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not going to miss an opportunity to tell you, you really should play Grim Fandango with your boy.
I should do a lot of things with my boy, but unfortunately...
Yeah, next time you think, let's watch a Marvel shite, as you would say, I would say, play Grim Fandango instead. So Grim Fandango is a game by LucasArts, same people who did Monkey Island. Lucas, yes, that one, George Lucas, the Star Wars guy, amongst other things. It's a brilliant sort of walkthrough adventure game, heavily inspired by film noir, and so much of it actually Casablanca. I mean, there are other bits as well, because when you watch a lot of these film noir things, like Peter Lorre, who plays Ugarte in Casablanca, who I said, Chow Chilla Charlie, that's the character in Grim Fandango, he could play that. He also plays a really similar character in The Maltese Falcon. Mm-hmm. So, it's not exclusively Casablanca, but if you watch Casablanca and play Grim Fandango, you'd be like, oh my God, it's all here. So it's fantastic. So yes, my recasting was
not just the recasting. What was the random music?
Plucked straight out. Well? Yeah, that all came from the game. Yeah, so the recasting came straight out of Grim Fandango. The names of the clubs, I guess I sort of transposed, if you like, Blue Casket to Blue Parrot, or vice versa. and Rick's Cafe American to the Calavera Cafe, Grim Fandango. Music to go along with that question, of course. And then we get the lovely little music at the end. Did you like that?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I mean, I didn't
Year
understand
2, when you
it.
get to Rubalcaba and
Sure.
you get to Calavera Cafe, you get music.
I mean, I'm sure some people would really have appreciated that. Emma was just like, what's going on?
Yeah, but you don't think that music sounds exactly like it could have been out of Casablanca?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, play Grim Fandango, an amazing game with movie-level storytelling, and in particular, Casablanca influences galore.
I do have an apology / correction for this movie. So I realised that in a film that had a character called Renault, didn't make a single pun relating to the brand of car. Not a single one. When
And
I
it was
talk about
French.
Captain Renault.
Well,
Exactly.
it would have been, wouldn't he? Because,
I'm kind of...
Renault.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
So when we get to our favourite scenic, we will have to see what you've come up with there, Carl.
Okay, yeah, good.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously recasting, we can recast any of the McGann brothers.
Yeah, very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I've got.
Yeah, right, okay. Do you know how the Irish say Peugeot?
No, but what sort of, like Northern Irish or like the Southern Irish?
Oh, good question.
Hmm.
I don't
Because
know.
only because I've got Northern Irish people at work, so I can ask them, and this will be fun. If it's the Southern Irish, then it's less fun.
I would guess they're all like this.
Go on. What do they say?
Peugeot.
No, they don't.
They do? Yeah.
Peugeot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why Peugeot is particularly right either, but
Well, because it's P-E-U. Or if you were to say a little bit in French, what would it be?
Peu.
And Peugeot.
Peugeot. And Peugeot. What's Joe then? Is it a combination?
Don't know.
Like a little.
Yeah. A little thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Giggly. No, not giggly. What's the
No,
opposite?
the opposite of giggly. You could.
Yeah, nice.
You could.
Yeah. Yeah. So, moving on. One of the things I was sort of thinking about after this film. Now, obviously, I'm moved. I go in with this preconception, if you like, this sort of bias against this film because of I've seen a lot of Humphrey Bogart films over the years, and I sort of see him as this weird old guy with bad teeth.
Yeah, and bad breath. Don't forget the bad breath.
Oh, yeah, it'll absolutely stink, mate. I mean, what's he on? 60 a day? Where do you think dental hygiene is in those days? No, it'll be awful. Yeah, so I love him in some films when he's dirty and dishevelled, usually not a nice character. When he's playing these ones where he's the sort of hero, although it's noir, so it's never, a particularly triumphant hero. Usually unsatisfying endings, that's all good. But often plays this lady killer thing. You liked that, I didn't. What I will say is, when I was looking for best scenes for this film, I watched a scene where he was talking to Ilsa. And he's hammered with the bottle on the table. And he's so good in that scene. Really, really good. He's sort of coming apart at the edges. He's not interested in shagging at all.
No.
And actually, when I sort of think about it, most of the film is like that. I know he shags Yvonne at the start, but that's only a minor thing. He spends most of the film being completely uninterested in being a lady killer, actually. The ladies have broken him, and he's very good at selling that. The problem are the flashbacks, which we said as well.
Yeah.
So sort of, I'd probably overplayed that a little bit, because I'm like, well, I don't know, lady killer. Well, actually, he's not for most of it. And when you take that, I was like, I have no beef left with this film. I really like it. But it's just the flashbacks. Lose that, and whew, we're there. But
yeah, I think we said at the time, right, the flashbacks are kind of unnecessary because they're doing such a good job at selling the whole story based on the sort of the current day. So I think it's mainly a little bit of a lack of confidence, I guess, in that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have been very short
film, actually.
But that'd have been okay, because we'd have been looking at it going, what masterpiece that is. Hour and 10 of them, and they've managed to tell that whole story, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's one of those, though, that I think I will watch again, and I'll have less of that problem with it, which was true of this rewatch as well. I liked it better this time than what was the first time I'd seen it. So this will be a rewatch will be a third, and I think I'll like it more again. So yeah, good stuff.
Cool. So you ready to move on to some ratings?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was just looking for a sound effect that I could play for this, where I'm gonna put mine up. What was your rating?
3.5.
3.5. Oh, Carl. I wanted to like have a sound effect that would be like a giant something falling onto the floor.
Yeah.
Something like that. 5 stars for me.
You got 5 stars.
5 stars for me. Yeah, I genuinely like. Now I know I said
you take the rating, you take the flashbacks out.
I take the flashbacks out, which is true. But I think even with the flashbacks in, I just think there's so much that overpowers all of the overpowers that. That's just so good. That yeah, I'm going full 5 stars.
Yeah, fine. Not going to argue.
I'm up with it. IMDb. I'm quite excited about going through these ratings. IMDb 8.5.
Oh,
So pretty high, but it's only number 45 in the top
Yeah,
250.
okay.
Expected it to be a bit higher.
I could see that.
Number 63 in the BFI list, which is always a bit more serious.
Wanky.
Yes, wanky.
Yeah.
Yes,
Refined
that's the right word.
/wanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.3 on Letterboxd, so if anything, a little bit higher than IMDb, but it's that's about what we top out. That's about what we top out at for Letterboxd.
Not everyone on Letterboxd is a cunt, but all the cunts are on Letterboxd.
Indeed. And hey, Will. And
There he is now.
had Metascore. First time this has happened, 100.
Wow.
100 Metascore.
That's silly, though.
Obviously, this came out at a time where they weren't collecting critics' reviews at the time. This is obviously people who are reviewing it later, and obviously quite positively, very positively. So a bit misleading in that you won't see a modern film that comes out at 100. I wouldn't think.
It's impossible, isn't it? Like, not everybody likes everything.
Everyone's going to give 5 stars or whatever, it seems.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the highest I've seen. Can't get
fine.
higher.
No, it's fine. It's good. Yeah.
Nominations wise, it did get 8 nominations at the Oscars. It did win the Best Picture. Bogart did get a nom for Best Actor, but lost out to Paul Lucas on Watch on the Rhine. Heard of that one? No. Supporting actor Claude Rains, robbed by Charles Coburn in The More the Merrier. Nothing.
Not seen
it. Did win Best Director, did win Best Screenplay, which it really should have won Best Screenplay. I mean, the amount of just the zingers and the lines and stuff, brilliant. And it got nominations for cinematography, editing, and music, but did not win. Now, rewatchability, I've put this as a very yes.
I've got yes,
I've got yes. Good. And Best Scene. Tricky. I weirdly found this quite tricky.
Yeah, so I put the French singing down. That's the sort of the most triumphant. But then
the Battle of the Anthems kind of thing. That one.
Yeah, that's the one. But it ticks along nicely throughout, really. You could have picked a lot of stuff. The one where she confronts him in his room later on is great, where she's saying, like, she still loves him and everything, and you're not sure whether she does or whether she's just telling him that to get him to help her out. Great. I mean, the one where she goes to see him, I mentioned it earlier, and he's got the bottle there and he's sort of falling about. Really good. But yeah, the French singing is perhaps the easiest one to single out and go, yeah, it's a really triumphant note in the movie there.
Yeah, there's just so many scenes where there's like 2 or more characters interacting that it's just like I just want to be sat there watching this going on.
Yeah.
And even when you get to the end with the sort of ultimate climax, the emotional goodbye, and then the sort of the crossing and the double shots and all of that, all could be there. But I went for the Battle of the Anthems. It was the most sort of powerful part of the movie, I think.
I mean, you talk about that. So that end scene is a really smart. You're talking about screenplay. It's a really smartly put together. Yeah, scene that as well. And you know, he sort of looks down at the champagne Vichy France on it. It's like, nah, fuck that. Like, well, it's almost like that. That's what tips him over the edge to go in. No, we're on Rick's side. I'm better off with Rick, sort of thing. You know? Yeah, very good.
And the easiest slam dunk of a category of favourite character.
Yeah, it's Captain Renner.
I mean, I've actually missed one. It should be best quote now, but we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
It's Captain Rello for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, he is brilliant. How it didn't get best supporting actor?
Well, I think a lot of people would love Rick, though, right?
I don't know.
I think a lot of people would love Rick.
He's definitely less interesting than Captain Rello, though.
He's less colourful.
Mm.
I mean, like I say, for me, if you take the flashbacks out of this film, I have no beef with the rest of this film at all.
Mm.
I could go for Rick, but they're in there, and
Yeah.
I have that issue. So
Yeah.
but yeah, no, Captain Renault, fantastic character.
Yeah, he was a great character. Best quote. So many great quotes, as we've already kind of said.
Loads. So I mean, what I really enjoyed was when they were asking him, what do you do or whatever, and he's like, I'm a drunkard. And then Renault follows that up with, that makes Rick a citizen of the world, which is brilliant. But I've got to say, and there are a lot of good lines in this film, Bogart's delivery when he is, at the bottom of the barrel, of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. Yeah. It's a great line anyway when you just read it, but the way he delivers it, absolutely fantastic.
It is 100% on that delivery.
Yeah,
because it's just like he's almost spent, right? It's just
totally. And it's not like, it's not cliche. You find it difficult to parody that. I mean, you could parody it, but you couldn't cheapen the original. Everything that ends up being an homage to it, right? It's such a good line. It's so far away from cheesy.
Now I wonder how many times that's been modified and reused exactly in that reference.
Yeah,
to it, right? But yeah, that was exactly what I put as well. There was so many good lines, particularly Captain Rello. He had lots of good lines in there. But yeah, I think that is the one that stands out. And weirdly, as you say, I don't think that wasn't the highest one in the greatest quotes of all time. I think it appeared lowest. I think in it.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it was on there, wasn't it? But it was the lowest one of the. Yeah, that's strange. There you go.
But even like I said, we've talked about the last line, which having a lot. It's quite a rare thing, having the last line of a movie be a very memorable line is an achievement in itself. All right, let's get to the summary of the month. We need a better name for this section. I don't know what it is, but kind of does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
Before we get there, do you know why I chose that particular song for the Tom Cruise things?
No.
That's the famous scene in Risky Business where he slides in his socks.
I haven't seen Risky Business, but I've seen that scene.
Well, I suspected you hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't include it in the rankings. I'm sorry, I've just eaten some nuts and it's really sticking in my throat.
You thought about taking them out of your mouth?
Anyway, back to it. So, what is the summary of the needle moves for the month, then, Carl?
I think we're at 1-1, aren't we? If we're not
and
counting,
a non-mover.
Yeah, if we're not counting my 2 degrees, my movement of 2 degrees. I think we're at 1-1.
And we haven't done the whole overall thing yet.
No, we are still not prepared enough for that.
No.
Yeah, we'll get there.
If someone wants to do that on our behalf,
sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
we will subcontract anything for free.
Yeah, for no money.
Yeah. We'll give you 10% of what we earn.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Including negative.
Yeah.
In that you will have to pay us 10%.
Yeah, every time we buy some new gear.
Yeah. But if we make it big, you get 10%. I mean, come on. Yeah. Is it worth a gamble?
It's like playing the lottery, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so what is your favourite quote across the month, Carl?
Yeah, I've got to say, it's of all the gin joints and all the towns and all the world sports into mine. Yeah.
I agree. Casablanca has it for me as well with that one. Scene?
I think I'm going to go with Vanette's pitch in Big Short.
Yeah. So I've also gone for Big Short for the one that I selected as well, the Mortgage Bros thing, just because it felt so revealing.
I'm going to preempt some of the other stuff I'm going to say here. It feels like sacrilege to go for anything over Casablanca because it's such a seminal moment in cinema history. But, we are where we are.
But we are, and it's I found that the more difficult one to pick a particular scene. That's the thing. The whole film is very memorable. There's lots of memorable quotes. That singular scene which stands out, I found more difficult. Hence why I went for the Big Short scene as well. However, the character.
I've gone for Vernet again, mate.
You've gone for Vernet over Renault?
I love Renault. But
Oh.
I love Captain Renault, but I've gone for Vernet again, yeah.
Oh, you disappoint me. Well, I've gone for Captain Renault from Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of iconic character, I think he pips the Big Short guy.
Yeah, Chief Bogan.
Yep.
I know.
All right, Carl. Top 3? We said we were going to do top 3 Steve Carrell.
I mean, you have missed out highest rated film of the month.
Oh, highest rated film of the month and most rewatchable?
I'm Big Short is for me, but most rewatchable, I've also gone Big Short because I was a very yes on Big Short and a yes on Casablanca.
Yeah, I think Casablanca will be both the highest rated and most rewatchable for me.
It's a very rewatchable film, Casablanca, to be fair.
All right, I better add this into my template so that next month I don't disappoint you quite so much.
I mean, if anything, we'd already sort of quantified those things, so
it does seem a little bit repetitive in a repetitive episode.
But that's our thing, isn't it?
Fair point. Anyway, so let's move on to top 3 Steve Carell, okay? So have you got any that you want to call out that didn't make your top 3?
I got to say, I haven't named any of these, but his voice work as Gru is great.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking at any of this Despicable Me's or Minions films, super. I went to see one of those in the cinema. I think it was The Rise of Gru, actually.
Fourth one?
Is that the fourth one?
Or was it Minions Rise of Gru? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it might be.
I've not seen that.
Minions Rise of Gru. Yeah.
I've seen 1, 2, and 3, and the Minions.
Yeah, so his voice work in that is really good. I've not picked any of those. It's a smaller part, but Brick Townland in Anchorman.
Yeah. That's
iconic almost.
Yeah. I love Lamp.
Yeah, I love Lamp.
Loud noises.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's a perfectly pleasant film. And, he's Steve Carell in that. Steve Carell's great, isn't he? So, yeah, they're my... I tell you what, Bruce Almighty, he's good in that. Now, I know he's got a bit part in that, and Evan Almighty's not quite as good. That. Evan Almighty's very Steve Carell, because it's like, we know you're not as balls-out funny as Jim Carrey, but you have got a bit more sort of heart about you, and people are more willing to come with you on a sort of softer feel-good movie type ride. So that veers more towards that. And it's perfectly fine, Evan Almighty. It's nice enough. But yeah, they're my honourables. What about you?
Anchorman, Despicable Me. I also want to call out Beautiful Boy. So it's him and Chalamet.
Okay, not seen it.
In that, where essentially he is the father of a drug-addicted child, played by Chalamet. Again, I've read... It's one of these where I've read the book and then watched the film, so you kind of have that deeper connection, I guess, to the film. But he's a very good performance in that. As an overall film, it's not up there. And obviously, Big Short, he's great in The Big Short. It's not right up there for me in that, as we've already covered. And then the other one that hasn't made my top 3 is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. However, that's obviously kind of his big break in movies. Yeah. And I would quite fancy watching that again, actually, just to revisit that. So let's get to the top 3s then, Carl. Do you want to hit me with your number 3?
So my number 3, and I think this is in... Oh, no, maybe not. You've got 2 in there that I won't have, actually. So one of the things I've omitted, I'll tell you now, is Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. No, it's not that.
Didn't leave an impression.
No, it's not that. I've seen it. Saw it as maybe an 18-year-old whenever it came out. It's just one of those I need to rewatch.
Yeah.
Don't remember much about it. Probably wasn't right for 18-year-old me. Almost certainly would be better suited to 40-year-old me. And speaking of 40-year-olds, my number 3 is 40-Year-Old Virgin. I haven't seen it since it was around that time, so it could be dog shit. But I remember thinking it was very funny, very pleasant. So, yeah, that's my number 3.
And I'm forgetting her name, but like the love interest in that was the hippie from Into the Wild. Check it on our feed. And I can't remember.
Oh, we were talking about her next week.
Wait, next week?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Next week.
I recast her in Sideways.
Oh, right. Yeah. What's her name?
Oh, I can't remember. Let me find out. Yeah, I put her down. Catherine Keener.
Catherine Keener, yes.
Not next week. Yeah, close to next week, maybe. Don't know.
A couple of weeks. Yeah, a couple of weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks' time, you can listen to Sideways properly.
Catherine Keener.
Yeah. So yeah, opposite her. Very good. So my third one is one you won't have on your list, I don't think, because I don't think you've seen it, which is The Way, Way Back.
No, not seen it. Yeah.
So this is Steve Carrell playing arsehole mode.
Ooh.
Where this is a kind of coming of age story. It's about a kid who goes on vacation and gets a job at a water park, where he's kind of always mentored by, oh no, I'm doing that thing where I've forgotten his name. Guy, lead in Moon, help me out.
Sam Rockwell.
Thank you. Mentored by Sam Rockwell, and his mum is with this guy, Steve Carrell, who is cheating on her with someone else who they're on holiday with, and he's just generally a bit of an ass. But I've seen that film. It's a couple of times. It was one of those where I'd watched it, and they were like, "Oh, this film sounds really good. I'm going to watch that." And we put it on and go, "We've seen this film. I like this film," and we just continued to watch it because it was good. So that was a fun one. So yeah, that's my number 3. And my number 2, I'm going to go to number 2 because it's one you've already mentioned, which is Little Miss Sunshine. Big fan of that. Again, saw it when that came out, I think, at the cinema. And again, it's Steve Carell playing damaged. So you know the boy's got range. He has got the range.
It's just as well you found that early, because otherwise you'd have pigeonholed him and then ignored objective evidence to the contrary that disagrees with your perception.
Exactly, but that's a very sweet film. Enjoy that and enjoy Carell in it. What's your number 2?
My number 2, very similar to what you've just said, actually. Dan in Real Life.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Yeah, I went to the cinema to see that. I have seen it somewhat recently. I was only half paying attention, so it was like on in the background. So right. I didn't log it because that doesn't count. And I was sort of looking forward to a rewatch of it. But yeah, he plays that very soft, damaged sort of guy. But you know, he's still got something about him. Yeah, I like it. It's a little bit funny. It's kind of heartwarming. It's a nice watch.
No, good stuff. I'm going to add that to my watch list right now. I think I might like that.
Oh, I think you will like it, Dan in Real Life, yeah.
What's your number 1, Carl?
Oh, well.
Is it maybe The Big Short?
It's The Big Short. I bloody love that. Have I said?
I bloody love it. Well, my number 1, Carl, is one you've already mentioned, which is Crazy Stupid Love. And I may have...
You love Gosling as well.
Crazy stupidly overrated this, but...
And Emma Stone. You love Emma Stone.
I love Emma Stone. I love Ryan Gosling. I do quite like Steve Carell. I like Julianne Moore. Like, this is ticking all boxes. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. I mean, what's not to love? It's all the hits. And it's one of those where people... If I'm ever speaking to someone and they go like, oh, like, yeah, romantic comedy. What's a romantic comedy you see? Like, that is... 100% a modern romantic comedy that is both romantic and funny, which is not very common in it. And I think it's just
because they can be like tacky, or they can be
exactly. It's very easy to make a shit. Well, just look on Netflix. You will see a lot of the romantic comedies, which are basically soppy romance shit, or ones that aren't very romantic and they're trying to focus on the comedy. This is both of those things combined, and the romantic and comedy, not the tacky and not funny. So I would encourage anyone to watch it. It's just an incredibly well made romantic comedy. And
fair shout.
It's up there on there.
Number 1's fucking mental, but yeah, it's fair shout.
I love it. It's one of those, like, if it's ever on, I would just watch it.
Yeah.
But we are where we are.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Movie the Needle Classics Collection section. Yeah, I did quite enjoy.
Yes, very good.
Now, as a reminder, anything that is going to make this Classics collection needs to have stamina, needs to stand the test of time, needs to have girth, that broad appeal. And it needs to penetrate, baby. It needs to have memorable characters, lines, or scenes that have penetrated that zeitgeist. And the general thing is just like, if your mum knows it, it's a good test.
Yeah,
it's
good
a good
indicator.
test.
Good indicator. Not the be all and end all, good indicator.
No.
So maybe there's aquariums themed things after films. Finding Nemo, for instance.
Maybe. So I'm obviously not going to list all of these. You can find that on my Letterboxd. Now, Carl, how's that Letterboxd list coming along now?
Letterboxd lost.
Are you building it gradually? Are you going back through the catalogue and ensuring accuracy? Are you making sure to link to relevant episodes? Oh, yeah, well done, you. Yeah. I don't do it as well as you, but I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm guessing you've not made any
It's pretty up. It's pretty up to date.
Oh, no, that's disappointing. Well, you can check both of our Letterboxd lists.
In fact, I'm looking at it now. It's fucking bang up to date, mate.
It?
Yeah, so stick that in your paper, smoke it.
You surprised me. So the last film on there is The Mask. That was, or The Mask, as you might say.
I would say The Mask, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no R in it, you see.
Yeah. Well, can't help incorrect spelling, can you?
Yeah, no. There you go again, ignoring the objective evidence.
Hey, look, I will say mask every now and then anyway.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you've got a right mongrel of an accent these days.
Mix it in. So I want to revisit Moulin Rouge, not as an entry into the Classics collection, but for the episode where you rejected my Princess Bride nomination for this. But I think you've seen that since.
Oh, okay.
We watched that since I nominated that.
Yeah.
And you said the kids loved it.
The kids did love it, yeah. What did I reject it on? What was the basis?
I think you hadn't seen it very recently, so you wanted to maybe
Does that sound right?
redo it. I don't know. But it was definitely starred as like a revisit, come back to it.
I think I'm finding it hard to think of a reason why not now. I've got to say. Quotable lines, for sure. I don't know if it was massively popular at the time, but it certainly has gained a following since. And it definitely has that broad appeal, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fine.
You happy for it to make our list?
Stick it in, yeah.
Oh, it's going in, baby. Okay. So Princess Bride is in. So we've gone back to the Moulin Rouge episode.
Nice.
Now let's talk about the three films that we've talked about today. Now, Moulin Rouge, I agree. It's nowhere near the Classics collection. No problem with that.
No, God no.
The Big Short.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. The Big Short, isn't it? It had a modest box office success. I mean, obviously, I look upon it very fondly. It just doesn't have that like special sauce for people to hang on to. Like, there's no hook, right? It's not an action film, which are easier to get in. It's not a balls out comedy. There are some funny bits in it, but it's not complete. So you've not got that sort of appreciation for it. It's an ensemble piece, so it's not even like you go in, I love this massive star, and that's a really good film. There's just no hook for it. So yeah,
just doesn't fit.
Because I think you said around rewatchability, I just can't find the reason. I liked it. I can't find the reason to go back and watch it, and I think that's ultimately what is going to cost it its place in the Classics collection.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we're agreed on there. No disagreement. So that moves us on to Casablanca.
All right, it's an easy yes.
It's an easy yes.
It's an easy
I thought
yes.
so as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a reason not to put it. Really.
It's completely seminal. It's everlasting, quotable. It's got the lot. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, anything related to those three films that we've maybe talked about today, maybe in the top threes? Is there anything there that's tickled your fancy? And
for the classics? Well, I have to say, none of Steve Carell's work. Sorry, Steve.
So my one question.
Oh, you can't know, can you?
What?
Go on, ask it.
Anchorman.
I don't know.
That was the only one I think. When I'm looking at the
I know.
criteria.
Yeah. Okay. I know where you're coming from. We're getting on for it, aren't we?
Stands the test of time, broad appeal, memorable characters, lines.
It was successful, spawned sequel.
Giftastic.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Mm.
It's
yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. What year is Anchorman?
2000 and something?
I like it as a question because I've said it before. I'll say it again. We're on brand.
2004.
Yeah, I like it as a question because
Pre-2000, you're basically going, right?
this is the thing. Like, classics, when we talk about older films, it's sort of boring because everybody knows generally what's regarded as classic or not. It's an interesting question. Like, for the newer ones, at what point do they become classics?
Yep.
So I like the newer ones. Yeah, maybe Anchorman. Should we put it in? Let's put it in. It's our list. Fuck it. Let's put it in.
I think so.
Yeah, let's put it in. Go on.
All right, Anchorman's in. All right, good stuff. All right. So it didn't make Steve Carell's top 3, but it's a fucking classic.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he's only a bit part, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he's one of the main
Well,
4. Yeah. Anything else that you want to?
I
sit
don't.
back on?
Right. So not adjacent to those, but I have got, because obviously we're not doing this as part of the main episodes anymore. I have got 3 suggestions for you.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got 3 suggestions.
Really.
Right. And for 2 of them, I'm really pushing the modern thing again.
Okay, what year are we talking?
I mean, they're not super modern. I think
From the
2000 and oh shit, I'll have to look it up. Dark Knight is my first one. Are we ready to go?
I mean, I think
The Dark Knight, because I think Nolan's Batman as a body of work.
Mhm.
I mean, everybody compares to that
Mhm.
already.
Yeah, I mean, I
And if
I
you're
think
gonna
it's an easy one.
pick one, I mean, I'm a Batman Begins kind of guy. If you're gonna pick one,
It's the Dark Knight.
it's the Dark Knight.
It
That's
is
the
The
one
Dark
everybody
Knight.
talks about, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
2008, The Dark Knight.
yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's. I don't know what you could disqualify it on. Right, it's hugely successful.
Yeah.
Definitely it's still within the zeitgeist, as it were. Like Heath Ledger's thing is everlasting, as well. The Joker.
The question becomes, because of the modern ones, how well can you assess what's had a lasting impact and what is there because of recency?
Yeah.
And I think 2008, it probably is
17,
old enough.
17 years through. And
Exactly.
just
When you say the number out loud,
how many
you go,
Batman
Jesus
films?
Christ.
How many Batman films have there been since then?
Yeah, and we're still comparing it to.
Exactly. We've had the whole Batfleck.
Yeah. Pat Fleck, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had
Arpats.
which you've still not seen. You should really
I've not
watch
seen
that.
no.
You should
I've not seen the Affleck ones, have I?
but you should see the Arpats ones.
Yeah, the Affleck got a bit of, because they were a bit darker, weren't they? They got a bit of praise, no?
This is the thing, isn't it? Everything went a bit darker.
Okay,
Literally, they just turned the lights down on
Yeah,
screen.
okay.
Basically, it was the main thing.
Okay.
I didn't hate them, but it was
All right.
nothing compared to the Nolan ones.
Which is
And-
the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is 100% the point.
Yeah.
And you can go down the, well, do they compare to the Keaton ones and stuff like that? It's like, well,
Oh, they definitely do. But they don't like step on the Keaton ones.
no.
They're like a nice, they exist and everybody likes them for what they are.
Yep.
But you're still not, if you were forced to rank your Batmans, you're still going, yeah, but come on. The Nolan ones are a bit of a level above, I think. As
It takes it up to a different level in terms of that blockbuster
Yeah.
side of things.
I think so.
I think it's in.
I think so. And I like the older ones as a kid.
Yeah,
so there we go.
100%.
All right, so Dark Knight in. Good.
Dark Knight is in.
So keep that same energy.
Yeah.
Now, we have inducted a couple of these as well already, James Bond films.
Oh, okay.
Are we ready to say Casino Royale?
Wow. Yeah.
So we've
What have
done
we got
we've
so
done
far?
Goldfinger, which is your classic Connery. We've done GoldenEye,
We have done
your
GoldenEye.
classic Brosnan.
So first non-gold Bond.
First non-gold. Obviously, this is Craig's. I think everybody, often cited. The Daily Mail disagreed, thank Christ, but often cited as the best Bond film. Definitely cited as Craig's best.
What year was
2006, I think.
Okay, we're still in that. We're still in that pre-2010.
Yeah, so quite old, but
Quite old.
Still modern, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think we can call it quite old yet.
Well, it can we? When you say phrases like "is 17 years old," that feels quite old to me. Yeah, 2006.
I mean, I love Casino Royale. Love.
I think it's one of those.
It's up there for me with GoldenEye, with Goldfinger.
Yeah.
on that side of things.
I think it's one of those you go, oh, James Bond, have you seen Casino Royale? I think that's a fair question. But have you seen Casino Royale?
Yeah, I mean, I think with all of these, the only question is the stamina, right? Because has it stood the test of time?
Yeah,
but I think it will stand the test of time. Like, I'm confident it will stand the test of time.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
And yeah, I'm there. Okay,
right,
Casino Royale. In.
Yeah. So my last one, a bit older now, but perhaps a riskier pick. Groundhog Day.
Oh, again, this is one that I've not watched for a long time.
Bill Murray, Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
Is she any less of an arsehole, Liz? Not sure.
Reference our Forward Into the Funeral episode if you want to
thank you.
Get our thoughts
on It's not
on
just
Andy
a senseless attack on Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
It had a basis.
Yeah, this is one. I think I need to rewatch it.
Okay.
My initial impression would be probably, because it literally is used in everyday parlance.
Yeah,
it's like, it's Groundhog Day.
That's right. It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's almost enough.
Yeah,
for me to.
I'm going to say probably, but I think I do want to rewatch it first, though.
Okay.
So I want to stick a pin in it. Put it in the parking lot. But yeah, I think likely I'll add that to my. That's an easy rewatch. That's a watch with the boy. Do you think? That's
oh
watch
yeah,
with the boy?
yeah. I loved that as a kid. Groundhog Day.
Okay, now I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now because I'll forget.
You need like a separate list, don't you? Rewatch with the boy list.
I do, but it doesn't really do that, does it? Well, you can do a list, but you can't just add it from the watch list. So
watch list, yeah.
I don't like two places to keep things. I mean, I've rated it 4, apparently.
IMDb means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So throwing out stars like the chocolate biscuits.
So I've got one submission.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and again, this is risky because of exactly the same. It's modern, and I think it's more modern, much more. Oh, yeah, this could be too soon.
Ooh,
could be too soon.
Okay.
I think it is too soon.
He's lost confidence.
I didn't realize obviously didn't realize it was actually this recent.
2024.
9 years. It's only 9 years old.
Okay, right.
2016.
Yeah.
We've talked about him taking on the Bond franchise.
Not Bullet Train, surely.
Not Denis Villeneuve.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Aaron Taylor Johnson.
No,
it's not 2016.
Denis Villeneuve.
Arrival.
I think it's. I'm going to talk myself out of it a little bit here because that is a 5-star film for me. I fucking love that movie. I adore it. Saw it at cinema, blew me away. I've watched it on Blu-ray multiple times. It is fantastic. I think it does struggle on the penetration, and perhaps girth as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say girth. I don't know if it's got,
and obviously it's
broad
only 9
enough
years
appeal.
old.
I don't think it's got broad enough appeal. I really like Arrival as well.
Like this would be on my top, probably top 10, or maybe like if I had to do a top 10 films of all time, it might appear towards. It might appear on that.
I think it's just a bit too film bro.
Oh, really? You think it's film broy? Film broy?
Yeah, because I think it's like a really smart film. And it's really well made, and it's not like some cult thing, right? It had a moderate box office success. But I think it's one of those where you just go, oh, you want some good sci-fi, some sensible sci-fi.
Great sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, no, you don't go for that silly stuff. You watch Arrival. I don't quite know if it's got the broad appeal.
No, it's fair. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I doubted myself.
Now, if in another 10 years, people are still talking about Arrival, we can go, do you know what? Maybe it's going to sneak in.
Yeah. I'd love to find someone who doesn't like Arrival and have a conversation with them.
I don't think it's that. I think most people just won't have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Great film.
I really like it.
All right, well, we got a few in there. We've got, so Groundhog Day is not yet in, but...
Yeah,
I will...
The precipice.
Yeah, I think it will get there. And then we had The Dark Knight, Casino Royale, Anchorman, and Casablanca, and The Princess Bride all going in. So good submissions. Carl, hybrids.
Hybrids.
Are you ready to talk about our Filmily tree?
I'm ready to talk Filmily tree. Yes, very good. Now, we did decide against rules last month in our general convo because the general feel was like, I don't want rules. I don't want this to be any more complicated than it already is.
Stop confining me, man.
Already struggle with it. Right. So I've got all these in a place to display, so we can put out a sort of a graphic on the socials.
Yeah, cool.
Following this episode. I still don't know what we're building, though, right? Because I've realised, is my pyramid cheating? Is it not? Going back to the rules
we can
thing,
make up our own
are they
rules,
important?
it's fine.
Are they not? Well, this is the thing, right? So, let me get my document up.
Oh, it's a document.
Ooh. Yeah. We have, as we said last week, you don't need to use all these hybrids to make a pyramid. We just want to make a pyramid. That's kind of fun. Excuse me. And then there'll be others floating out there that we can add in and whatever. And if people want to go, oh, do you know what? If you just do this pairing, that'll allow you to...
these and
yeah,
these.
exactly. That'll allow you to join these together and we can tack on... Great. I'm up for all of that. So, as a pure pyramid, only 2 layers, here's what we've got so far.
Okay.
Right? So we have lots of other pairings out there. And I have come up with 2 of these in preparation for this podcast. So we already had There Will Be Blood crossed with the Maltese Falcon makes Chinatown.
Okay.
Now, if you cross the Maltese Falcon, so taking one half of that building block, with To Have and Have Not. To Have and Have Not, by the way, very, very Casablanca adjacent. It's basically like Casablanca 2.
Yeah.
Only it's not quite as sort of gritty. It's even set in Vichy, France. It's not quite as gritty. The Maltese Falcon's giving you the grit. You get to Casablanca. No surprise.
Okay.
So
he's gone rogue, people. He's gone rogue.
So you've got There Will Be Blood. The Maltese Falcon gets you to Chinatown, and then the Maltese Falcon, To Have and Have Not, gets you to Casablanca.
If you say so.
You can then go Chinatown, cross with Casablanca, next level.
Okay.
Gets you to The Good German. Have you seen that?
No, of course not.
Now, I have seen The Good German. It's a Steven Soderbergh film. While ago, George Clooney.
Oh, okay.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah. I've not seen it, but yeah, I know what you mean now.
I've seen it a while ago. I need to rewatch it. I did a lot of Googling to go like, what is this sort of a film noir vibes with a sort of detective murder mystery plot and a sort of former lover complicated thing. And The Good German kept coming up and up and up. So I need to rewatch it, but it looks like it's going to be right. That is a pure pyramid, right?
Okay.
Because we've got these blocks and they go into another layer. Brilliant. Or we can cheat.
I mean, you kind of cheated already because you just made up a whole 2 layers. But yeah,
What do you mean I've made them?
Well, you didn't talk about any of these on the podcast.
No, I know. And I'll tell you why it's not
Got
important,
rogue.
because I sort of don't like this approach.
Okay.
Because if you're doing it by the rules, right? If you were actually building a pyramid, the Maltese Falcon has got to appear in both of those blocks in the foundation. Like literally imagine a pyramid.
Yeah.
Right. How the fuck do we get away from film
so you
noir?
go a 4, 3, 2, 1.
Exactly that. How do we get away from film noir?
Yeah.
In this example. So I'm sort of looking at it again. Well, we did have something else. So we go, okay, we got Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Crossed with Burn After Reading.
Yeah.
Gets us to The Nice Guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then we have a completely separate block of films. And that's Forrest Gump, Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
That gets us to American Made.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in the pod.
Yeah.
So then that's like 4 different films going into 2. That's not how a pyramid works. But I can then take on The Nice Guys and American Made into War Dogs, which again we've discussed on the pod.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at them and going, do you know what? That's easier and it's more interesting.
2 to 1, 2 to 1. Those two
those two.
then make it a 1.
Exactly.
So there isn't a third one in the middle there, which is because that wouldn't work though, because then you wouldn't be able to mix a 3 to get a.
So the pure pyramid, as you've
That's
just
too hard.
described it before, was you go 4,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, well, the example I gave was 3 to 2 to 1, because we had There Will Be Blood, The Maltese Falcons, Have Not, gets us to Chinatown, the Casablanca, which gets us to the Good German. That's the pure pyramid. How the fuck do we get away from film noir in that sense? They're all going to be too similar. Don't like it. So in this example, we can go, well, they don't. The foundation blocks don't have to share films, so we can go 4 to 2 to 1, halving it each time essentially.
And Will's idea was obviously you reverse that, so you don't make it a pyramid. You turn it upside down, and you've got your filmity tree. So you've got your this and this makes this, and then you can cross that with something.
Well, you don't even need to look at it as reversing it because they go with all sorts of.
Our family trees always go down.
All sorts of indirect.
Family trees always go down.
Yeah, but they also go sideways, don't they?
Pyramids don't go down, unless you're in France, in Paris, and then they do. But
the Louvre. But family trees also go off to the sides, and they have all sorts of
sides
things.
And down though,
and they have all sorts of inputs and all that.
But they go down.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they do go down.
You're forgetting about the incest
start
as well,
up
of
and
course.
then you go down, sideways and down.
The incest when you got. Why is that line going to the side? What's that all about? So I sort of don't know. So going on the sort of impure angle. So as I said, we've got Pulp Fiction, But After Read It, Nice Guys. Alongside that, Forrest Gump, Catch Me If You Can, American Made. Combine those two, you get Nice Guys, American Made to War Dogs. Now, as a sort of offshoot of that, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Hangover, Superbad. We've discussed that in the pod.
Yeah.
Taking on Superbad, I think if you've got Superbad with Shoot 'em Up, you get Kick-Ass. We've discussed that. We've discussed that in the pod.
Makes sense.
So what we actually need is we need somebody to come up with something, or we will do it at some point. But send it in if you think. What 2 films make Shoot 'em Up?
But have you not got 2 films there that need to make something?
Yeah, well, we've got War Dogs and Kick-Ass. You combine War Dogs and Kick-Ass, you get to Rush Hour, mate.
You know what would really help? A fucking visual.
I've got it, mate. Don't worry. We'll put it out.
For me.
Yeah, but War Dogs, Kick-Ass, they make Rush Hour, mate.
So what we need to appear in here is like question marks, right? Where we're missing that people can help us with.
Yeah, exactly. So we can put that out and we can say, you fill in the blank for what 2 films make up Shoot 'em Up.
Yep.
And actually, we're all the way to Rush Hour at the moment. And if we go backwards from that. What 2 films make up Pulp Fiction? What 2 films make up Burn After Reading?
Yeah, we can do this in separate images. Yeah. This will work nicely.
Come at us. We've got plenty of other pairings just sitting out there.
Yeah.
As well. So put those out on the list.
Should we make some new pairings?
Well, I did make one with War Dogs and Kick-Ass for Rush Hour.
No, but I mean with the films we've talked about today.
Yeah, I've got one.
What have you got? Not because we did Moulin Rouge. Have you added that one in there?
I haven't added that one in there. What was the Moulin Rouge?
Mamma Mia and Shakespeare in Love.
Yes, we did do that. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, we decided that on the last on the Moulin Rouge.
Oh no, that's on here. Yeah, I've got that.
Okay, cool.
I've got that in the parking lot, ready to be added to the.
You've put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in that.
Yeah. So the Big Short. Have you managed to come up with anything for the Big Short?
The Big Short. Let's have a look. I think I might have done. Yes, I have.
Okay, what have we got?
So, try this one. Where are we? Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's what I came up with as well.
Yep. And American Made. Think about all my notes about what ride it is, the production side of it. Your pieces to camera, your current day events.
That's where the Wolf of Wall Street was coming in with the.
That's true. There's some of that in Wolf of Wall Street as well. So
I was bringing it back from for Margin Call.
Not seen it.
Okay. Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of talkiness and even Moneyball, that side of things, bringing that in. Kind of intelligent but accessible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Those ones. I think American Made, I don't know. Yeah, it seems a bit too much of a wild ride for what the Big Short is. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was getting my my tone and production
the style
from American Made, and
the story, the subject matter and stuff from Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I see that.
I was going for.
Yeah, I see it.
I mean, I'm open to changing to some of the ones you've just said, but I haven't seen Margin Call.
Have you not? Yeah, you probably like it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we can...
we'll revisit.
Yeah.
Work on that.
A tentative one.
Have you managed... You mentioned Casablanca ones already, so you've already got those kind of covered.
Yeah, put those out there.
Any others that you wanted to throw in there that you've thought of?
No, the only other one that was brand new to you was my War Dogs and Kick-Ass for Rush Hour. So War Dogs, a buddy movie.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass, the sort of stylized action. And I've got to Rush Hour on that.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Works all right, doesn't it?
I like it.
Works all right.
All right. So there is some homework to be done. We'll try and send that out to
we'll put a graphic out.
See if people can fill in our gaps, as it were.
Yay!
And everyone's a winner.
Hey, did I apologise for missing your... What do you think about the length of that joke on Moulin Rouge?
You did not.
Yeah, I think... I don't honestly know if you said it or I said it, but I've got it in the pod notes, which is one of us said, what do you think about the length of that then? And the other one, probably me, answered it earnestly and started talking about the runtime of the film, which is obviously not where that should have gone.
Oh, matron.
Yeah, that's where that should have gone. Yeah.
Carl, you got anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty, then that's all we've got. So if we move the needle for you this week, or even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does embalm the algorithm and get us out there to a larger enthralled audience. Our Bluesky, Instagram, and Twitter is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle. You can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikToks at movie.the.needle. All details are always in the show description, so please do follow and comment wherever you are. It makes not a jot of difference to our listenership, but fuck it makes us feel good. So for me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Bye.
Join us next week as we discuss Baby Driver, and we see whether we can move the needle for each other.